Having inventory is challenging, but not having inventory is equally and maybe more challenging. So consider this idea that there is very little inventory between the gray machine and the gold machine. So I will create just one WIP between the gray machine and the gold machine. Now, let's say for some reason the gray machine stops working. There is a maintenance problem in the gray machine. Now, what happens is, unless the defect in the gray machine is addressed immediately, the gold machine will not have any product to produce, or will not have any WIP to work on. So in situations with low inventories, machine failures or resource failures can have amazingly bad consequences on the ability of the line to continue producing. So the first problem that we have in situations like this is typically associated with machine failures. We somehow need to address this idea of machine failures. The second problem comes from this very similar concept, which is we call it quality failures. Now let's look at between the green and the gray machines. Now let's suppose there is a large inventory between green and gray machines. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 bricks. There is a larger inventory between the green and the gray machines. Now let's suppose the next product that the green machine makes is a dud. It's a failure. It's a poor quality product. Well, it's not going to make too much of a difference. Of course, the cost of poor quality, but the assembly line does not stop because the gray machine still has 5 other products to keep working on. But now consider the case between the gray machine and the gold machine. Well, there is only one product, and if this one product is a dud between the gray machine and the gold machine will have nothing to work on, and the assembly line will again come to a stop. So we stop the continuous assembly line. So the second problem that usually happens, or challenge, is what we can call as quality failure. Okay. Now, the third problem happens because this constant change of products. We are producing this product, then we need to produce that product. There's no definite long-term plan about which product to produce. All this induces some kind of busyness among the workers. They're constantly doing something actively. And this constant busyness can get them frustrated or even get them to make errors. So the challenge is that these workers don't make some mistakes in this busyness. So we need a system which can in some way address the busyness of all our workers or operators or resource people that we have in our facility. The fourth problem. Now when we say that when we reduce inventory, the defects become visible. But if so many defects become visible, all of them need to be addressed. And since there will be so many defects, we cannot have a central operations excellence department which can go around and find solutions to these defects and get them executed. These defects need to be located or realized at the source, and the changes need to be executed at the source. So doing this for so many defects is challenging. So the fourth challenge that we have here is about managing defects, where we locate the defects and create the right execution for the changes on these defects. Now, the fifth challenge happens because again of low batch sizes. Let me create here a finished goods inventory. Okay, so we have finished goods inventory at this position, let's suppose, and the customer takes some finished goods inventory. Well, all the processes need to somehow get to know that some finished goods inventory has been taken up by the customer, and all the processes need to quickly be able to work on fulfilling exactly that demand product that the customer has picked up. So we need some system. The challenge is, how do we convey this quickly throughout the entire facility? The exact thing the customer has picked up is what everybody starts working on. So we need some way of quickly conveying demand. Okay, that's the fifth challenge: convey demand quickly within the facility. Okay, and the last challenge that we have is with respect to this idea of small batch sizes. So now when we have very little inventory, as in one unit in this case, what we are doing is producing one unit at a time, and we are producing different units. So if the setup time is large, what would it do is the setups would occupy a lot of time. And so our capacity of the machines, the effective capacity of the machines would come down. And yeah, the capacity cost becomes very expensive. So we need some time, we need some system to be able to address this problem of setup time increase. Oops, let me erase it. Setup time. So we need all these systems here, and lean is precisely a system which addresses all these challenges.